Hey everybody, it's Mickey, and in today's video we are in the kitchen. I have a whole list of recipes that we are going to be making together today. We all need a little extra motivation to try something new and to use up all of the food that we have in our pantries. So if you are new here, I hope you'll take a minute to subscribe. I put out new videos every week about all things home. I have a bunch of food that I need to use up, and I have a couple recipes that I really want to try. So I made a list of everything I want to make here in my planner. This is where I've been keeping, my ongoing list for things I want to get done around the house and the things that I want to cook, because there's not much else seriously going on to put in my planner these days. So I'm going to be sure to put all the recipes that I'm making today in the information section down below so that you guys can try them at home too. Rebecca and I both have birthdays in April, so this next recipe I'm going to share with you is for our favorite birthday cake ever. It's peanut butter and chocolate cake, and on top I just make a really simple Hershey frosting. I found this recipe in the Cake Mix Doctor cookbook by Ann Byrne. It's the chocolate peanut butter marble cake, and I follow the recipe pretty closely except for the frosting, which I'll share that recipe with you in just a little while. But I really love this cookbook because there are so many great recipes and they all begin with a simple cake mix. So I will leave a link to this cookbook down below as well. So what you're going to need for this peanut butter marble cake is, of course, a yellow cake mix, 1 1/3 cup of water, some vanilla, 1/4 cup of cocoa, and 2 tablespoons powdered sugar, 1/2 cup of vegetable oil, 1/3 cup of peanut butter, 3 eggs, and 2 tablespoons melted butter. In a large bowl, beat the cake mix, peanut butter, oil, eggs, vanilla, and water until all is well combined. Measure out 1 1/2 cups of cake batter and place it into a medium-sized bowl and set aside. Then pour the remaining batter into your prepared 9 by 13 pan, smoothing the top with a spatula. To make the chocolate marble, stir cocoa powder, confectioner's sugar, butter, and 2 tablespoons of water into the reserved cake batter until it's well combined. Then spoon the mixture on top of the peanut butter batter. Swirl with a knife to marbleize the cake. Be careful not to touch the bottom of the pan. Then place it in a 350-degree oven for 30 or 35 minutes. After the cake is finished baking and cooled, you can prepare whatever chocolate frosting that your family likes. I have always chosen the recipe on the back of the Hershey cocoa container. It's the one my mom always used, and it's really easy to make. I'll put the recipe down below for you. Now, since this is just for the family and we are keeping things really simple, I just spoon the frosting on top of the cake and use one of those offset butter knives to spread the icing out. If you really love the combo of peanut butter and chocolate, this is the best cake to try, and it looks really pretty when you slice it and serve it too. Next, we are going to be making some good old-fashioned tuna salad. This is a recipe that my mom would make for her lady friends when they would come over for lunch. So of course you're going to need some canned tuna, some celery. If you have some that is wilty in your refrigerator, just put it in a mug with some ice water and it will crisp right back up for you. You'll need some kind of small pasta. I like to use the small shells. You'll also need some mayo, a little bit of sour cream, a carrot, a few hard-boiled eggs, and some of your regular seasoning, salt and pepper, Mrs. Dash, garlic powder. You can also use a little raw chopped onion, but I like to use minced onion, and you'll also need 1 chopped green bell pepper. Chop up your celery, hard-boiled eggs, pepper, and shred up your carrots. Add everything to a large mixing bowl with the pasta and the tuna and combine. Start by adding about 1/2 cup each of the mayo and sour cream, adding more as you mix to taste. Add your seasonings a little at a time while mixing. Everybody has different tastes, so I always say to add or omit anything that your family likes or doesn't like until you reach that perfect combo of flavors. I sometimes serve this with lettuce and tomatoes, but for today I'm just adding a few Ritz crackers. I have a bunch of veggies I need to use up, so I am going to be making sausage and peppers over rice. This is such a great recipe because you can literally put any leftover veggies in it and it will taste great. So today I am just browning up a pound of mild Italian sausage, and I've added a bunch of chopped green peppers, red peppers, mushrooms, zucchini, onion, and some frozen corn. I also added 1 can of black beans rinsed. I'm just sauteing all this up together until the veggies are nice and soft. I'm going to serve it on top of some buttered rice with biscuits. Bananas are really hard to find in my area for some reason, and I really don't want any to go to waste, so I have these 3 very ripe bananas that I'm going to use to make some banana bread. This is a new recipe that I found online at Simply Recipes, and I will put a link to it down below. You will need 1 cup of sugar, 1½ cups of flour, your 3 smashed bananas, 1 teaspoon baking soda, a pinch of salt and vanilla, 1 egg, 1/3 cup of melted butter. I also added 1 teaspoon of cinnamon to this recipe. I have my big bowl for mixing and a prepared loaf pan. In your large bowl, cream together the egg and sugar, adding the salt and baking soda. Combine your melted butter into your bananas, mix well, and add to the large bowl. Go ahead and put in all your remaining ingredients, mix well by hand, and pour into your prepared loaf pan. Bake in a 350-degree oven for 50 minutes to an hour. This recipe really made a beautiful loaf of banana bread. I made a little bit of honey butter to go along with it, and it was gone before I could even get a picture of what it looked like on the inside. So that should tell you it was a pretty good recipe that I will be making again. On our list, we are going to be making some chili, and this is really the best, easiest recipe that you can ever try. This has fed troops full of Boy Scouts, and it's always the first thing everybody requests when we have big family gatherings. I always use ground turkey for my chili, and I have 2 packages here. They're about 20 ounces each. I have a jar of Pace mild picante sauce. I have a 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes, a package of Old El Paso original taco seasoning mix, and a whole mess of other spices. I have parsley, basil, oregano, red hot pepper, Mrs. Dash, and some sugar. So I have the turkey browning in the pan, and over in my big stock pot, I am going to start on the sauce. So I'm just going to add my big old can of crushed tomatoes, the whole jar of picante sauce, there we go, and my packet of taco seasoning. Okay, we're going to turn this on medium heat. So then we are going to add our spices, and like I always say, I think that spices should be added to taste. So that is an individual thing, and you can add as much or as little as you want. Once the meat is all browned, you're just going to transfer it into your big stock pot, bring it to a boil, and then turn it down to medium and let it simmer for about 25 minutes, and you're done. We like to serve it over a little bit of rice with some shredded cheddar cheese on top and sour cream. So thank you all so much for watching today. I hope this video gave you some inspiration to use up what you have in your refrigerators and pantries. If you have any questions or requests, go ahead and leave them in the comments section down below. Please don't forget to subscribe and join our community over on Facebook. So until I see you in that next video, I hope that you love the life that you have. Be kind to each other, stay safe, and I will see you again soon. Bye!